My name is Lachlan MacQuarrie. I'm an industry fellow with Intelligent Buildings. I help in the business development and sales side of our advisory, assessment, and managed service business. And I own an art gallery on the side. I think all real estate has certain elements of digital that have been in place for years and years and years. And I think finally we're realizing as owners that if we can harness the power of data and technology in a better way, we can actually drive efficiencies up. We can actually create more value through lower costs. We can actually give customers better experiences. We can make our lives easier for operators to do the jobs better. So the opportunity for digital is to take data and bring it together and converge it in a way that we can actually use it for good stuff. Buildings are operated the way they're designed. They're great, but the reality is that building operations drift over time and things change. And so when you look at how buildings are potentially operated with analytics and assessment and operators can understand how to use data to more efficiently deliver the outcome of great service, great environments, then data is really, really powerful. When we can amalgamate that across portfolios, we can do big, powerful things for companies that include increasing yield, lowering costs, and improving the environment of our occupants. And so I think that data and big data and smart technologies have that ability to be the next wave or the next frontier of value when it's properly considered and thought through and managed. Well, I think that some of the biggest challenges would first and foremost would be, have they got a clear strategy in the first place on what they're hoping to accomplish? Can they communicate that strategy effectively? And can they execute it at the level of the team who's ultimately the one delivering the work? And so some of the biggest challenges are building a culture that allows that to happen. There are certainly other challenges that are big and substantial, but not necessarily the most substantive problem. So, there's a lack of understanding about how technology works in the real estate space. We're not trained around technology historically. I think we often approach solutions or problems with, I don't understand how it works, as opposed to, I don't know how to do it yet. And so there's a barrier, a momentum barrier that exists with technology. Technology can seem very expensive, particularly if it involves any capital. So there's a barrier to execution and purchase, and I think technology, probably the biggest barrier is the people side of how it's actually being embraced. And so if we can make it easy for people to use technology that solve real problems, people will use it. Strategy is great when it's executed. Technology is great when it's used. You can gain a competitive edge using technology any number of ways. And I think if you're solving a problem around experience, you can use technology to deliver a better experience. You can use it to deliver seamless Wi-Fi, seamless occupancy sensors that actually give the occupant a transition from home to car to subway to office to coffee shop to their desk in a way that they can choose to work anywhere. So if you can deliver that type of environment in an office building today, then when people choose to work elsewhere, which they absolutely will at times, they will use it in a way that's more seamless. And I think one of the challenges in the return to work environment is can you attract people to work in a physical environment downtown or in the suburbs away from their home? And so to do that, you have to make it easy for them. And that may mean using technology to that advantage. So if you can deliver a building in today's environment that allows your occupants to do that for their employees, you have a great advantage. And that's about experience. You can similarly use technology to derive material advantages and efficiency. So if you can lower the cost of heating and cooling and running a building, then seemingly you could convert that to base rent. And base rent divided by cap rate is value. And so if you can do something more efficiently, you create value. Don't try to solve the whole problem at once. Approach it from a perspective of priorities. Solve problems, don't just buy technology. And so identify the problems you're trying to solve, the use cases that you're looking to address, and bite them off and chew them up one by one. You don't need to know all the answers to all the questions to proceed. And so I would say to people, don't be afraid of, I don't know how to do it yet. Don't be afraid of the yet. Go out and try to solve one problem and have some success. And use that success to encourage the next solution to the next problem. So I would say don't be afraid of failing and don't be afraid of trying.